right, everybody, we had a data download over on JP Dokkan. We got a lot of new units here. All of this was expected, right? We got the new LR that's coming. We've got the new World Tournament LR that they announced. And then we got the World Tournament EZAs. This was all expected, nothing new here. You guys can see on the timers that I have on the screen when these guys are going to drop. So I'm currently recording this at 11:10 Central Time. So, do some math there, or go look at this for yourself. If you go to Dokkan Info, it's just dokkaninfo.com. I link it in the description. Just go to cards and then schedule. Make sure that you have, over here, you can't see it, but there's like a user setting over here. Make sure that you have the user setting set to like JP English, and then just go to schedule right here, and you guys can see the countdown for yourself. So if you're wondering when these guys are going to drop, check the link in the description below to Dokkan Info. Harry Turney puts a ton of effort over here into this website, and is kind enough to provide us with timers here. So if you're ever not sure, once the data download hits, these timers go live, so go check them out. So these guys are dropping tomorrow at the typical time, and then these guys will drop like on the weekend, right, during World Tournament, whenever it's normally held. So, you'll see people grinding these up. But yeah, okay, so these are the units right here. I did calcs for all of them. I already posted them on Twitter, so if you want to see these early, go follow me there, and you can see these as I post them, and then you don't have to wait for the video to come out, render me, make a thumbnail, all that good stuff, right? Because it could take me 30 minutes to get through the video, and then it has to render. I gotta make a thumbnail for it, so... If you guys want to see this early, go check that out. This time I actually did make a really nice thread. So there's a thread over here that has them all. We'll go over those in just a minute. But yeah, so let's go ahead and hop over to Monato's Twitter. Monato was very kind of us to provide, or very kind to us and provided us with translations here. So right here, we're going to start out with the LR Pilaf, Shu, and Mai. They're finally getting some representation in the games. Let's go ahead and read their, everything, their translations here. So their leader skill is Dragon Ball Seekers, category key +3, HP attack and defense 130%. Excuse me. By the way, these are going to be the World Tournament reward card for the upcoming World Tournament on JP. So, you're not going to be able to rainbow them immediately. The most copies you'll be able to get is 2. Typically, there's a world tournament about every 3 to 4 months, depending on, how often they want to hold them. Sometimes they'll push them out a little earlier, a little later, things like that. So it's going to take, several months before you can rainbow these guys. And if you're, the best you can do is get, like, first place, basically, in 2 of the world tournaments. And then you just have to place, like, I don't know, top 70, I think it is, to get a copy of, like, 1 more. So you got to get first place twice in 2 world tournaments in order to rainbow these guys within 3 world tournaments. So typically, it takes about 9 months or so, sometimes 6 to 9 months to get these guys rainbowed. So keep that in mind. It's like we're going to be looking at this, we're going to be talking about them at 100%, but we're not actually going to see this unit at 100% stats, obviously, other than private server showcases, until much later down the line, when likely the meta has shifted even further into the, like difficulty, right? So, this unit, I'm going to tell you right now, is not good enough. Obviously, I've already done the calcs on them. I know how good they are, and flat out, this unit is not good enough. I don't even think they're better than, like, DKP. Like, if we're being honest, I think DKP is better than these guys. But let's go ahead. We'll keep talking about them and go into this a little bit. So our 12-key super attack raises attack for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to the enemy. This is awful, terrible, disgusting, abysmal, atrocious, shows a complete lack of understanding of how the game is, working right now. Yeah, so anyway, that's terrible. And then 18-key super attack is the same thing, but they also get a high chance to stun. Again, this is just abysmal. This is like a complete lack of understanding of the content that they're pushing out right now. That, or it's a complete understanding, and they just don't want us to have units that can compete in it. Goresh made like a funny tweet the other day that was like, they finally cracked the code on giving us difficult content. It's, you just make content harder and then make units suck, and you don't have to worry about anything. It's just like no unit can compete or whatever, so... something to that effect. You guys can go find that tweet. You'll see what I'm talking about. Passive skill, they play the entrance animation plays the entrance animation upon entry once only, and changes physical key spheres to AGL Tech or STR key spheres for 5 turns. So they just, like, this could actually be bad for you. Like, why would you want this? They just randomly change a key sphere. I mean, that's interesting. But anyway, this is like a boss ability. Like, they give these to bosses. They, like, randomize your orbs sometimes. That's essentially kind of what they're doing. It's not, like... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. And then attack and defense plus 120% at the start of turn. They get an additional 40% attack and defense when performing a super attack. That is a multiplicative buff. And then it becomes 80% if it is an ultra super attack. So you can see it's an additional 40%. So you add the two together, it's 80% attack and defense when performing an ultra super attack. So that's like the only multiplicative buff that they have in their passive. That is obviously not good. They get key +1 per type key sphere obtained. That's fine. Also, another thing I'm noticing is not a lot of key going on in their passive. So, that's interesting. Attack and defense plus 70% at the and performs an additional attack which has a high chance of becoming a super attack when collecting an AGL key sphere. So this is a start of turn buff. This will increase their start of turn stats. And then defense plus 100% and high chance to dodge enemy attacks, including super attacks when collecting a tech key sphere. So obviously, tech key sphere is what you're going to want to go for with this unit. That's like their only defensive viability. Attack plus 100% and high chance of performing a critical hit and seals targeted enemy super attacks when collecting an STR key sphere. Worthless. Attack is worthless. Attack is worthless. Yeah, so, worthless. And then performs an additional super attack when collecting 7 or more key spheres. Great, man. We're going to get this raise attack for 1 turn. Awesome. We love that. 7 key spheres. At least it's guaranteed. They could have made this a great chance to become like a great chance performing an additional super attack with 7 or more key spheres, but they didn't. They made it guaranteed. Enjoy your 1 turn attack raise, guys. Woo! And then when there's an enemy whose name includes Goku, changes int key spheres to AGL Tech or STR. What? This is awful. Terrible, abysmal, trash. It's bad. Links, Brainiacs, Brutal Beatdown, Thirst for Conquest, Incredible Adventure, Guidance of the Dragon Ball, Shattering the Limit, Legendary Power. Yeah, we can go ahead and pull them up right here. They're already on Dokkan info, so we have them pulled up. And these are their 200% leaders, either Yamcha or Kid Goku. Kid Goku's probably the team that you're going to want to run them on. So yeah, I mean, that's good. Hang on real quick. I need to check something. Does this guy, what does he give 50% support to? Boyhood Saga. Okay, so he would give them 50% support. I forgot to factor that into my calcs. I'll be honest with you. I included Bulma's support, but not his support. I mean, this will help him out a little bit, but, we're just on the conservative side anyway. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to matter. So this is my calc thread. We're going to go over here and look at them. So right here, we got a couple scenarios for them. I forgot to highlight things. Forgive me. I was trying to get these out quick. So, this is their defensive stat, 13,971. This is their 55% defensive stat, 11,931. So you multiply by 5 for the 200% leader. We got 22% links from Bulma. That is Brainiacs and Incredible Adventure. That's what you're getting active there. 120% at the start of turn, plus Bulma's 37% support. And then they get, if they do a 12 key only, they're going to be at 306k defense. If they get an 18 key, then they get 394. But remember, that's it. Like, that's where they're going to cap out, is 394. And then we have a couple other scenarios here. So this is like if you get like an STR or physical key sphere or something like that. If you get an AGL key sphere over here, they get the extra 70% defense. So they jump up to like 500k on an 18 key at 428. But again, I do want to point out that this unit is not really getting key. So I think 12 keys are going to be relatively common with them. So, guys, these defensive stats are not impressive. And then here they are. So this would be 27% links. That's with, like, Jackie Chun. So the extra 5% that they get there is Shattering the Limit. That's what's included there. And then, again, same thing, 120%, 37% from Bulma. This is what they get after a 12 key. If you get up to an 18 key, this is what they'll be. So, obviously, very, very unimpressive numbers. And then over here, if you get a tech key sphere, they can get up to, like, 550 or something. Again, it could go up slightly if you add, Kid Goku. But, guys, I mean, even if we include the extra 50% in this line right here, they're not, like, suddenly good, right? Like, can we agree that even if we have Goku support up here, they're atrocious? So it's not included, forgive me, forgot about that. But yeah, and then over here, I also wanted to do some with DKP. So this would be the extra link that we're getting here is also Thirst for Conquest. That's an additional 15%. So you can see they start getting up to like 637, but I mean, 637 with the 50% chance to dodge, I mean, that's like awful. For a unit that we cannot even rainbow right now, like most people are going to be seeing this, 544 with a 50% chance to dodge. You guys can let me know if you think that's good or not. And then this is also what you're going to be seeing start a turn, right? Is this 300k number? So again, let me know what you guys think here. because this is to me is very very bad. But anyway, next one up here. Let's go ahead. We got AGL Cooler, Final Form Cooler. I asked Minato. I made a tweet. I think it was on this one, right? He tweeted this out, and I just said, hey, would you mind, try doing it in bullet points? I asked him if he would do that, and he did. And I think that this format just looks a lot cleaner. So, shout out to Minato again for, taking my suggestion. I think it looks pretty nice. You guys let me know. Show some support to Minato. I'm sure if you're watching my content, you know who he is, but, go check him out. So Final Form Cooler here. Leader skill doesn't really matter. Who cares? Super Tech Effect, they raise defense for 1 turn. All right, that's already promising. Supreme damage to the enemy and lowers enemy defense. Okay. 100% attack and defense at the start of turn. AGL types get 1 key and 40% attack and defense. I guess I'll take the key. This will also apply to himself, so he'll be giving himself 1 key, and this is actually 140% at the start of turn. This I don't understand. Oh, excuse me, I had Mexican food for dinner, so I got a little bit of indigestion, but performs 2 additional attacks, each of which has a rare chance to become a super attack. Why? Why did these need to be rare chances? You guys let me know why those had to be rare chances. And then they get an additional 20% attack up to 100% and chance to evade enemy attacks, including super attacks plus 5% up to 50% with each attack performed. At least this is attack performed and not super attack performed. So even if you're getting normals here, you will be building up this dodge chance. So, not totally worthless, I guess, but that still kind of sucks. And then he also gets an additional 50% attack and defense when there's a Terrifying Conqueror category ally attacking in the same turn. You guys can see his links and, categories, all that good stuff. So we can go ahead. What is this? Oh, that's Kid Goku. My bad. Let's go ahead. We can go back here to the schedule. Let's get Cooler pulled up. Here he is. Let me translate them real quick. All right, just to show his 200% leaders, right? These are his 200% leaders, and his best linking partner that we're going to be using is STR Cooler, but I also did some calcs for Tech Cooler. This guy's pretty simple, since he doesn't, have, a lot of variation going on. He doesn't build up or anything, he's just kind of what he is. The only differentiation that I have in my calcs here is who he's linked with. So on the left here, it's STR Cooler, so we're getting 50% support from him. And then he's giving 50% in links. That's Big Bad Bosses, Metamorphosis, and Thirst for Conquest. Over here, the Tech Cooler, the Tech Final Form Cooler, or I'm sorry, the Tech base form Cooler. This guy right here. They have essentially the same links, the same amount, but he doesn't have Big Bad Bosses. He has Cold Judgment. So in theory, you could have a rotation of this guy, AGL Cooler, and STR Cooler, and then he could get 80% active in links because he would also have Big Bad Bosses. But yeah, so that's what's going on here, is we're getting 55%. This is Cold Judgment, Thirst for Conquest, Metamorphosis, and Shattering the Limit. So you can see that we're getting slightly more defense from the links being active, but we're only getting 30% support here. Again, I could have done a third one where we saw what he looked like with, what would that be, 80% support and 80% in links, and just a combo of these two. But I figured, the Tech Cooler isn't really even good enough to begin with. But I mean, I guess I don't know. I could have done it. It's fine. Just imagine I did it, okay? I could do it right now. I don't want to. There's too many units to get through. So anyway, defense stat, 200% leader multiplied by 5, 50% from links, 190% at the start of turn. That's his 100%, plus his 50% from a Terrifying Conqueror ally, and then 40% from his AGL support that he gives himself. And then he's also getting 50% support from the STR Cooler. That's who he's linked with here. And then he gets 30% per super attack that he does. I put lulls next to the 3 and 4 because it's very rare that you're ever going to get those. So most of the time, this guy's going to be capping her out around 380k defense. That's kind of where he's going to be. Obviously, that is really bad. If you guys get a quad super out of this guy ever, please let me know because I would love to see it. But even if you get a quad super, he's only capping out at 535k defense. Obviously, that's not very good. So that's AGL Cooler. Not very good. Cannot recommend. All right, we got Ultimate Gohan here. So his leader skill is actually kind of decent. You may need that. You could potentially use this if you're running really low on battlefield units and you're trying to I don't know, beat Broly or something, right? You could potentially use this guy in a pinch, or for an EZA area, something like that. This guy's leader skill, maybe you could get some use out of. Super attack effect is raises defense for 1 turn. 30% raise, supreme damage to the enemy, medium chance to stun. He gets 150% attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets 100% when HP is 50% or above. He gets 20% with each super attack performed. So you have to specifically do super attacks. Normal attacks will not build this up. And then he performs an additional attack, which has a high chance of becoming a super attack when there's another Majin Buu Saga category enemy or ally other than this character attacking in the same turn. So, like if you're running this guy on the Boo Duo team, if they're on the rotation, he gets the chance to additional, right? So that's fine. Those are his links. Those are his categories. Again, we can get this guy pulled up over here if we just go back to the schedule. Here he is. These are his 200% leaders. Like, obviously, this guy's probably the team that you want to use him on because that's where you're going to get, like, the most Majin Buu Saga units, and you can get Bulma support up. So that's what my calcs take into consideration here. Now, notice this red line. That basically differentiates between him being fully built up at the start of turn and then, like, how his super attacks build up versus up here, like, he's still building up. So that's what that red line is differentiating. This is what he's going to look like fully built up at the start of turn because you will get to see his 58% that he builds up right here. As you build this up, you'll see that active at the start of turn. It is a multiplicative buff, but just as you build it up, you'll see it. So that's kind of what I'm trying to show you here is that once he's fully built up, this line right here is what you'll be seeing at the start of turn. And then after that, each of his super attack effects, this is what he builds up to. So above the line, again, defense, 200% leader. His links that I have active are Saiyan Lineage and Shocking Speed. The only difference between these two sides is that Bulma support is active over here, which again, you can get active on his teams. So I don't really know who he's linked with here, but let's just pretend he has both links active. So sure, why not? Above, what is it, 50% HP? Above 50% HP, he gets the extra 100% attack and defense at the start of turn. So that's why we're at 250% right here. So right here, we're essentially assuming that you get a triple super on his first rotation. So after you do that first super on his first turn, he'll be at 275, 255. After the second super, he'll be at 395, 238. And then if you get a triple super on his first turn, he'll be at 529, 689. And you can see that that's the same because at this point, right, he's fully built up. So you would expect that to be the same. But yeah, it takes 3 super attacks to fully build up his passive. You guys can see 20, 20, and 58 because he builds up, 58% attack and defense at the start of turn. So that's what's going on right there is as you're building that up. So I did not do if you only get 1 super attack, this is what he'll be at the start of turn on your next rotation. If you get 2 super attacks, this is what he'll be at. I just said, screw it. Let's just say he gets a triple super in his first turn. This is where he'll be. But if you wanted to figure it out, I mean, I don't know. You just figure it out, right, guys? You guys are smart. I trust in you. And then over here, same situation, but we have 37% support from Bulma activated. And then if I go over, oh, you guys couldn't see my mouse. I'm sorry. So yeah, Bulma support is over here. No Bulma support here. And then right here, this is assuming that we're under 50% HP. That's what's different in this calc right here. So you can see he caps out at about 378, 350. And then why is... Oh, well, this is wrong. This is just the exact same calc. My bad. Give me a second. All right, sorry about that. Here's the correction. So this is under 50% with Bulma's support active right here. You can see he's at, 2.87. So yeah, now you can see the slight difference here. So with Bulma's support active, they cap out around 434, under 150%. Again, that's with the triple super, though. That's not going to be very common. So yeah, obviously this is, again, pretty bad. So let's go on back over here. We'll take a look at Super Trunks next. Sorry if I'm going through these a little quickly. There's just a lot to get through, so I'm trying to, get through these for you guys. Again, these are on Twitter if you need more time to look at these and digest them. This guy, yeah. So, leader skill, who cares? Actually, this is decent for Battlefield if you guys want to use this guy for, Battlefield. That's, an okay leader skill. Supreme damage to the enemy and raises attack and defense by 50% for 3 turns. That means that you can stack this up for a couple of turns. So we'll see that in my calcs. Now, this is really funny. Okay, so key 3, attack and defense, 150% at the start of turn. 70% chance of an additional 150% defense, attack and defense. 50% chance of an additional 100% defense. Medium chance to perform a crit. Performs a critical hit within the same turn after receiving an attack. And additional 50% attack when attacking. Yeah, so, these are all start of turn buffs. Um, I don't... Okay, so here we go, Super Trunks. So you can see here, hypothetically, if we have it all active, we would have 400% at the start of turn. That's 150 plus 150 plus 100. So 400% at the start of turn. I put lol. If you guys get this active, let me know. I mean, there's a decent chance that you get it active, but I just foresee in the future, like, we're only going to have, like, I don't know. Who knows, man? Um, I just kind of walked it down. So I did a situation for 400%, 300%, and then 150. I could have done like a situation for 250, but I didn't. I didn't. I'm sorry. So you guys can kind of see, like, basically we have a max here. We kind of have like a mid, and then we have like a low end scenario here. The only link I have active is Soul versus Soul. He's getting that with Tech Super Trunks. Yeah, that's like his only defense link, by the way. Let me pull him up here. Translate the page. Yeah, Soul versus Soul. That's like his only... I mean, he has Shattering the Limit, but... Yeah, I don't... Dude, out of this Super Trunks. Here's his leaders. So we can get him on, like, their team. Excuse me. So we could get Bulma support active on that team. So that's why we have a column right here that has Bulma support included. So you guys can see, like, you know, if you can get him quite a few additionals, he can get up to some decent defense numbers. Decent defense numbers for a free-to-play unit. But that's requiring 2 turns in a row of double supering, which is going to be pretty rare. I would say most of the time you're probably only going to have like 2 stacks of this guy's defense up most of the time. Because again, like, he doesn't have any built-in additionals, so these like double supers are coming from your hidden potential system. And remember that these numbers will stack. So, like, if you double super on the first turn, then you're going to be starting out that next turn with, like, 612k defense or something. And then if you get, like, another super on that next turn, then you'll be at 766, 106, and then, you know, 919, etc. But it could vary depending on how much of this passive, this just, like, RNG passive that you have active. So you guys can just kind of take a look at the numbers here and see what he's going to be around. I would estimate most of the time he's going to be maybe around, like, a 500k defense range. That kind of seems like the general area he's going to be in. You can kind of tell if he didn't get any of it active, though, because he's going to be down here in, like, the 300 range. So, yeah, you guys just let me know if you use the Super Trunks, if you know, spend your, you know, hard, grinded EZA World Tournament EZA medals on this guy. Let me know how he works out for you, because this looks atrocious. Again, and then last up, we have the AGL, Great Ape Kid Goku. So let's go ahead and get his translations pulled up. So his super tech effect is raises defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage to the enemy. I mean, that's, again, 30% raise, that's fine. 100% at the start of turn. He builds up 59% up to 159 at the start of each turn. So on his first appearance, he'll have 159% at the start of turn. This is a start of turn buildup. So, you know, like, the max you'll be able to get up to is 259% at the start of turn after 3 turns. So that would be like turn 5. You know, it's essentially like 3 rotations, right? So turn 5, if you got this guy on turn 1, or turn 6, if you got this guy on like turn 2, and if you got him in slot 7, then it would be like turn, what, like 3, 5, 7, so it'd be turn 7. Is how long it's going to take to build this guy up. He gets an additional 59% attack and defense on his super attack effect and his passive. And then, yeah, he gets an additional 59% attack. Attacks effective against all types when all allies attacking the turn are giant 8 power category allies. This is kind of, like, irrelevant. Who cares? And then he has a low chance of turning into a Great Ape once only. These are his links. You can see right there. And then he does have the Great Ape transformation. Nothing here to really talk about. Like, nothing really much going on. We can take a look at the calcs here. We got a couple situations. So on this one, I did remember Path to Power, Kid Goku. That's going to be his best linking partner. So I figured we would just have them next to each other. So they're getting 27% in links, All in the Family, and Incredible Adventure. So that's what's going on here. That's going to be his links active through all these calcs. And then just on this side, we have Bulma's support activated here. So we have the 50% from Path to Power Kid Goku over here. We have the 37% from Bulma and Path to Power Kid Goku over here. Or 87% total, right? 37 plus 50 is 87. So this is his first turn right here. This is his second turn. And then this is his third turn, is kind of like how I'm showing this. So You can see, like, on his first turn, after he super attacks, he's going to be somewhere in the 342 to 383 range. On his second turn, he's going to be somewhere in the 400 to 448. And then on his final turn, he's going to be somewhere between 452 and 493, just depending on the support that you have active. He can double super, but it's just going to be from his hidden potential system, so don't expect to get that super often, even if you build him like full additional, right? Like, people kind of get allured into additionals thinking that the points are doubled, and they are, but then keep in mind that even if you get it active, it's only a 50% chance to be a super attack, so it's kind of like dodge in a way, and that 1 point in additional is 1 point to additional super attack. So just keep that in mind, right? Like, even if you give this guy 25 additional, that is a 50% chance to do an additional attack, but then that additional attack has a 50% chance to be a super, so then it's only a 25% chance total, right? So just keep that in mind, that double supers, you can get them, but they're not just going to be like every turn or something like that. Whereas I would expect to maybe like AGL Final Form Cooler, I would kind of expect him to double super consistently, because as he's doing his passive additionals, that's going to give you a higher chance to trigger his hidden potential additional, because every time you attack or counter in a turn, it gives you a chance to roll that hidden potential attack. So there we go. That is all of the EZAs. A little bit of a longer video. Let me know what you guys think. Again, sorry about messing this guy up. I added the correction down here. If you kind of scroll down, I put the correction right here. So again, all of these units are on Twitter. I will go ahead and put a link to this in the description below. Again, shout out to Minato. He's got his thread here. I'll try to also put that in the description if I remember to. Let me know what you guys are thinking about these units. I think they all suck. Every single one of them is irredeemably bad. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.